Welcome back to Talk Property to Me. My name is Brad East.
I'm Aaron Downie, and today we're going to be talking about a recent article that realestate.com just released, which is the hottest 100 suburbs for 2025.
To be honest, probably more interesting to me than the hottest 100 Triple J.
100%.
I'm well outside that demographic these days. But what we're going to do today is really break down the New South Wales portion of that hottest 100 and give our input on what we think of some of those nominations.
So for context, this list is created each year, and what they do is essentially collect a bunch of people within the industry. Ray White, different real estate agents, buyers agents, economists. I think there's a few bank lenders in there or something like that. They are based on insights, but I think it's also promoting their own business in a way as well.
Yeah, if
when
you post anything out, someone will give you a comment on it, won't they?
100%. It's one of those things, like what they're talking about based on the factors that they're analysing these markets. So it's affordability, the amenity, the family appeal, location, gentrification, population growth, all of these things which are important, but when you go through some of the details in them, some of the details that are listed for main demographics, they're talking about a main demographic of 10 to 14 years of age.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they're quite analysing them in as much detail as what they should, and it's more of a clickbait article.
They probably had to put 100 properties together, so it's just like, shit, where do you start?
So for New South Wales, the top picks that were listed in the hottest 100, we'll start with Adamstown Heights.
So it's in alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order: Adamstown Heights, Avalon Beach, Batemans Bay, Castle Hill, Coffs Harbour, Enmore, French's Forest, Inverell, Lake, what's that, Brett?
Lakemba.
Lakemba. Don't even know where that is.
Lakemba.
Long Jetty, Matraville, Mayfield, Narrabeen, Orange, Point Clare. And there's a few others, but we'll just touch on those top 10. So the first one, Adamstown Heights. We're pretty familiar with this market, Brad.
Yep, 100%. So that's it's been listed as, been nominated, for the demographic change. I actually used to live in Adamstown, not Adamstown Heights, but it historically has quite an older demographic there. A lot of older houses, and if you go through any of Adamstown at the moment, there is a lot of renovations happening. Yeah. So there's younger people moving into that area, renovating, increasing the value. So. And
it is. I completely agree with this pick, and this pick came from another buyer's agent based in Sydney.
Yeah.
Their family 3 and 4 bedroom homes. Yep. It is a demographic change. There's going to be a lot of elderly that move out of that market. Families come in.
New money.
They'll start renovating those properties. Median price of around 1.2 mil. And it's an overflow effect of people who can't afford to buy in Merewether, and now they're still buying in.
And it's literally a K away.
It's a kilometre away, still close to the beach.
It borders, Merewether does border with Adamstown. So it's very, you have to agree with this one because you can see it if you literally drive down the streets.
100%.
There's no arguing with that one. So look out for Adamstown Heights or Adamstown in general over the next 12 months. There's a lot of manufacturing of growth in that area.
Yeah. Next one, Avalon Beach, so northern beaches of Sydney.
This is your domain.
Yeah, Avalon, it's performed really, really well over the past 10, 20 and 30 years. I've got a mixed opinion on this one. Avalon has a lot of downsizers and retirees. It is a more expensive market, and you do have sort of mixed demographics within that market. I would say units are going to do better in Avalon purely because they're more affordable, and you'll also own a unit next to Kelly Slater. But Avalon, I wouldn't have picked it as one of the top ones. I would say if you're picking something on the northern beaches like that, I would go Mona Vale.
Yep.
Mona Vale's got cheaper properties across the board, and a bigger variation with demographics buying them. But it's also a lot more connected to public transport.
It is. It's not on that peninsula.
Anywhere past Avalon Bend, nobody wants to go.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare. Traffic-wise as well.
Yeah. So I mean, Avalon is a good market, but to be listed in the hottest 100, I would have chosen Monavale personally.
Yep, so that was nominated for location. Next one is Batemans Bay, being nominated for affordability, gentrification and location.
Yeah, look, Batemans Bay, it is a good location, but it is in the middle of nowhere almost. It's 2 hours to Canberra.
It's very regional.
Very regional. In my opinion, they're holiday homes and retirees driving that market. Population growth is 1%, which is exactly the state average. There's nothing outstanding driving that market. We saw a massive increase over COVID-19 with holiday homes.
Was that nominated by a real estate agent in Batemans Bay?
I think so.
So we won't spend too much time on that one then.
No.
So next one is Castle Hill.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, that one's been nominated for family appeal, population growth. I would agree with the family appeal. I know some people that live in that Hills district.
Yeah.
And the Hills district is a bit of a family, it is a family hub.
Look, Castle Hill is a good market. To be listed in the hottest 100 again, you've got so many surrounding markets from Hornsby to Pymble, all of these other markets that
have stronger potential,
have stronger potential that is still within that same demographic. Castle Hill has had really good growth.
Is that interesting that the main age group in that area is 10 to 14?
That's why I made the comment that...
But that really then goes towards what we're saying, family.
Yeah.
It is a big family area.
And it's almost like how much detail have they actually spent analysing these markets? Because how can you make a property decision based on a demographic of 10 to 14 years of age? They're not the buyers.
They're not buying much. They're sitting in their rooms on their iPads or iPhones heckling each other on social media.
So number 5, Coffs Harbour.
Yeah, look, Coffs Harbour's, in my opinion, it's a good little economy up there.
Yeah, I agree.
It's been nominated for affordability and infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's, even though it is regional, it does have quite, it's not that far to the Gold Coast. It's not that far to other locations. And in my opinion, it has quite a good
it's
local
accessible
economy.
now. It's a great local economy. Good population there. Population's increasing. You've got the incomes in that location to sustain price growth.
It's actually a really, really nice area.
Yeah.
If you've ever holidayed there. I've stayed at Sapphire Beach, I think.
Yeah.
Just north of Coffs Harbour. It's a really nice area.
So I've listed a few in here from my own little analysis of Coffs Harbour. Safety Beach, if you're buying within that Coffs Harbour market.
Yep.
And again, it's different price points as well. Coffs Harbour overall will do well, but there's going to be micro markets within that market that perform better. So Safety Beach, in my opinion.
Yep, got a few good ones in there.
Next one, Enmore, which isn't surprising.
Yeah, it's inner west of Sydney.
Inner western Sydney, it's
always going to do well.
It's in the middle of Sydney.
Yeah,
it's still an affordable area.
That was affordability, location, investment prospects.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. There's going to be a lot of apartment sales and,
townhouses, houses.
And Enmore's really like the Enmore, Newtown, that whole area is like the new, well, it has not new, but it's the gentrification, the hipsters, if you want to call them that. I hate using that word these days, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's lots of cafes, lots of restaurants, hospitality industry is booming in that area. People want to live there.
The thing is, it's like if you can't afford to live or you don't like those beachside suburbs and you still need to be close to the CBD for work, it's prime for families. You've got 4-bedroom terraces there for $2 million, $2.5 million. It's catering to that first home buyer, investors, families, and downsizer market. There's so much competition in that market.
So that was a yes. Next one is French's Forest, nominated for amenity family appeal,
which was also nominated by a buyer's agent on the Northern Beaches. I do agree with his pick. French's Forest will perform. Whether it's one for the hottest 100 to be listed, I disagree. For my opinion, especially in that new Northern Beaches market, I would have chosen a Lambie Heights or Bargalla. There's a lot of money being spent in that market at the moment.
Yeah, but still a good area.
Yeah, French's Forest, I still would say yes. Next one, Inverell.
Inverell, so regional New South Wales.
Little regional pick.
So that's obviously been nominated for affordability, and the verdict is yes, because what's that? $400,000. for a property.
It's very hard to get a family house for $400,000 anywhere in Australia at the moment. And the fact that it's an undersupplied market, it's got good demand, demographics, it's a slightly lower socioeconomic demographic, but the thing is, you're going to have investors enter that market because they're 5 to 6% yields for a $400,000 property.
Yeah.
So not surprised that Inverell got listed.
Next one is Lakemba. So that's western suburbs of Sydney. Obviously, it's not overly close to the city, so affordability starts to come into it, and location.
Yeah, it's an interesting market. It's saturated with units, super cheap units as well.
It's never been, that Lakemba area has never been known for a high socioeconomic sort of outlook.
And there's so many of them: Lakemba, Tempe, St Peters, Matraville.
Yeah,
it's all that southern side of Sydney, and I've listed a lot of them in here as well. Similar to Matraville, that whole southern side of that Eastern Beaches market, it's always been inferior.
Yeah, so I think you could bundle that into it. It'll do okay.
It's purely from an affordability piece.
Yeah, it's not you're not going to do bad there.
Yeah.
Next one is Long Jetty. So if you're not familiar with Long Jetty, it's near the entrance on the Central Coast.
Yeah.
So that's been nominated for gentrification, demographic change and location. And yeah, I'd have to agree as well.
Yeah. I actually think this was chosen by another buyer's agent. And yeah, I couldn't agree. Couldn't agree more.
It's not that far from Sydney either.
No.
It really isn't. It's probably an hour and a half, hour and 20, not even.
Yeah.
Straight up out on the freeway and up you go.
And if anyone's familiar with Long Jetty, it is a massive gentrification and demographic change because there's a lot of old coastal beach houses there and an ageing population. A lot of the blocks there are greater than 900 square metres and they're being split into 450 lots, whether they're two semis, 2 luxury 4-bedroom semis.
Yeah, I grew up on the Central Coast and I used to actually work at the entrance when I was like 15, 16, and that demographic change from then till now. Back then, it was just full of crackheads.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah,
and now there's money coming into the area. Everything's starting to upgrade. Definitely. Agree
there was
with
actually ex-block contestants who did a splitter block there, and two luxury 2-story 4-bedroom homes. They sold for 2.6 mil.
Yeah, 2.6
mil in Long Jetty is pretty crazy.
Probably too many to go through all of them on the list here, so we'll cherry pick a few out here.
Yeah.
One that I wanted to talk about is probably in Newcastle area again is Mayfield. Location, population growth, demographic change, same as the other areas. Aging population starting to retire out of those areas. The average, what would you say the average house age there would be? 60 plus years.
Yeah.
They're getting renovations. They're really starting to add some wealth into that area as well.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 15 years ago, you wouldn't buy in Mayfield.
Yeah. I mean, Mayfield did 130% over the last decade. Surrounding suburbs, again, Waratah, Georgetown, all of those locations will do well as well. So not surprised that Mayfield's been put in there.
Yeah. Another one on the Central Coast, Point Clare.
Yep.
That's a yes for me as well as you.
100%.
It's right on a train line. It's just past Gosford.
Yeah.
I think it's about 30 minutes on a train to
you
the
buy
CBD.
A 4-bedroom house there for $1 million.
Yeah. It's actually quite a nice area. It's on Brisbane Water. Brisbane Water connects into Pittwater.
Yeah.
It's quite a good location, especially if you're into boating and
commuters to Sydney. Much more affordable alternative to Sydney.
We'll pull one more. So we've got South Penrith.
Yeah, that whole Western Sydney market, again, there's a few others that have been in that Western Sydney market that we haven't listed, but that whole Western corridor, the airport expansion, all of the redevelopment of Leppington.
Yeah, I can say that infrastructure in that area, there's a lot of money getting spent on is it Badgerys Creek, the airport?
They're essentially like new suburbs.
They are.
Just being established everywhere out there.
And they're going to continue to grow. And you look at any of the airports around the globe, when they build them, everything starts to build outside of that.
Yeah.
It starts with industrial, warehousing, everything like that.
Yeah.
It's close to it's logistics. It's as simple as that.
100%.
So
Yeah.
that area will start to do really, really well over the next, maybe not just for 2025, because I don't think they're even close to building that airport yet. But
South Penrith will do well for 2025, but I think we've taken more of a long-term approach with this. It's not just a 2025 market.
Correct.
This is for the next decade.
Yeah. These are just what we think, based on that topic. What we might do, probably not a few episodes in a row, but we might start pulling out different states, Queensland, Victoria. If there's any specific areas anyone want us to cover, happy to do so. But for now, that's our New South Wales wrap-up of the hottest 100 for 2025 suburbs.
Maybe we'll put our own list together of what we think.
Yep, we could do that as well. But as always, if you've got anything you want us to discuss, throw it in the comments.
Yeah.
We do reply. We are humans. You're actually talking to us. So if you want to heckle us even, throw it in there, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll reply to you.
Love a good bit of banter.
Yeah, as long as it's a bit above board. We don't, personal digs, you can leave them to yourself. But always happy to, discuss these things in more detail in the comments as well.
For sure.
So, we'll see you on the next episode and, we'll catch you then.
See you on the next one.